Central Europe becomes part of the Mongol Empire by 1242. Now here's where it gets interesting. The Mongols were actually pretty good at running things. They loved trade. They protected merchants. They built roads. They had a postal system that was faster than anything Europe had ever seen. A Mongol governor arrives in Vienna. The local duke meets him, absolutely terrified. So, the duke stammers. Do we have to convert to whatever religion you have? What religion do you have? The governor asks. Catholic. Keep it. We don't care. Really? Really. Just pay your taxes and don't rebel. That's it. That's it. Oh, and we're building a road through your territory. Can we negotiate? No, but we'll pay your workers fair wages. You're going to pay them? Yes. Happy workers build better roads. It's not complicated. This is very different from what I expected. What did you expect? Honestly, more murder. There will be murder if you rebel. Otherwise, just taxes and roads, maybe a postal station. The Mongol Empire implements its standard policy, religious tolerance, local autonomy, and absolutely brutal responses to rebellion. You can worship whatever you want, keep your local customs, and govern your own cities. But if you rebel, they'll burn your city so thoroughly that archaeologists in 800 years won't be sure it existed. By 1260, the Mongol Empire stretches from Korea to Germany. It's absolutely massive. Ogedei's son, Guyuk, is now Khan. The Silk Road is booming. A merchant can travel from Venice to Beijing using the same passport. Well, technically he needs 17 different local permits, but it's all Mongol territory, so nobody robs him. Then in 1347, disaster strikes. A Mongol trading ship docks in Italy carrying grain, silk, and rats. The rats have fleas. The fleas have plague. The Black Death arrives. But here's the twist. The Mongol Empire has a functioning postal system across all of Eurasia. Information travels fast. A doctor in Italy writes to the Mongol administrator, "People are dying, black spots, fever, very bad." The administrator reads this and immediately writes to the next city. "Close your gates. Quarantine incoming ships." This is serious. Within 2 months, every Mongol-controlled city in Europe has received instructions. Quarantine the sick, burn the bodies, wash your hands, which is actually new advice for medieval Europe. Does it stop the plague? No. This is the Black Death. It doesn't care about your administrative efficiency, but it's less catastrophic. Instead of killing half of Europe, it kills maybe a third. Still terrible. Still millions dead, but better. A Mongol health official arrives in Paris in 1348. "We need to close the city gates," he announces. "But what about trade?" A French merchant protests. "You'll be dead. Dead people don't trade very well." That's actually a compelling argument. I know. Now close the gates and stop touching the bodies. We're supposed to give them Christian burials. Burn them. That's against church law. The plague doesn't care about church law. Burn the bodies or I'll have the army do it. The gates close. Paris loses 30% of its population instead of 60%. The Parisians are upset about the deaths but also confused about why they're doing better than other cities. The year is 1400. The Mongol Empire is still unified. Europe has been part of it for 150 years. And something strange is happening. Technology is spreading. Chinese inventions reach Europe decades earlier. Gunpowder arrives in the 1250s. Printing press technology from Korea shows up in the 1380s. Mongol administrators see this stuff in China and think, hey, the Europeans could use this. A German blacksmith named Gutenberg is working in his shop in 1430. A Mongol official walks in. "I hear you work with metal," the official says. "Yes, sir," Gutenberg replies nervously. "Good. We need you to make these." He shows Gutenberg designs for Korean movable type. What are these for? Printing books. The Khan wants more books. More books means smarter subjects. Smarter subjects means better tax revenue. That's oddly logical. Everything the Mongols do is oddly logical. That's why we run half the world. Can you make these or not? I think so, but great. You start Monday. Here's your contract. Payment is generous. Deadline is 6 months. What if I say no? Then we find another blacksmith, and you lose a very lucrative contract. Also, the Khan might be disappointed. What happens when the Khan is disappointed? Nothing good. So, Monday works. The printing press spreads across Europe by 1440. Books become cheaper. Literacy rates climb. The Renaissance happens faster because ideas spread faster. Leonardo da Vinci is working on his inventions in 1490. In our timeline, nobody funded his crazy ideas. In this timeline, a Mongol patron shows up. "I heard you design flying machines," the patron says. "Yes, but nobody will fund them," Leonardo sighs. "I'll fund them." "Really? Really?" The Khan likes innovation. Build whatever you want. Just document everything. Even the helicopter? Especially the helicopter. That sounds interesting. What if it doesn't work? Then we learn something. That's still valuable. Start building. Leonardo nearly cries with joy.